Hi everybody. Well, what's today? Tuesday. Thursday is my online Southern Chilean Secano Interior wine seminar, and I actually have to move into a different apartment, moving with my mother tomorrow because of construction in my house and blowing a bunch of walls out. So I should really be working on that wine seminar, but instead I ran that might have been a new fastest time on my 3.5 something mile loop around here. 21.5 minutes. But what I really want to do actually is put on this tiger stripe jumpsuit and drink this Immich Batterieberg CAI Riesling. So, because sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. And I think I've really got to drink this Riesling right now. This is from the Mosel, from Germany, the Moselle. This is, Immich Batterieberg is actually one of the oldest wineries in the Moselle. It hasn't always been called Immich Batterieberg. I actually don't know what it was originally called, but it was started by a Carolingian monastery in, I think, the year 941. Anyway, that was a long time ago. It was purchased by the Immich family at some point, a long time ago. They owned it for like 500 years. Karl August Immich, it doesn't actually say his name anywhere. Yeah, Karl August Immich, I believe was the one who made the decision. There was a hill on the property. The property currently is 13 hectares. There was a hill, big hunk of rock, and he wanted to grow vines on it, but he couldn't because it was too steep. So he got dynamite, and he dynamited the hill. And I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, it took several years of like continuing to dynamite the hill to finally blow it up enough to form terraces and everything. Giant pile of slate. I forget if the Batterieberg vineyard is red or blue slate. The estate Immich Batterieberg encompasses blue, red, and gray slate in different vineyard sites that they have, different crews. The CAI, is a blend of grapes from the very bottom of the Batterieberg Crew Hill, which is it's a 1.1 hectare like terraced vineyard. So these are vines from the very bottom of that hill, and then other grapes that he purchases from organically farmed vineyards that are actually ungrafted, which is pretty cool. Age of the vines is like 20 to 65 years old. This is 11.5% alcohol, relatively low, but you know, that's sort of what you expect from Riesling, from dry Riesling like this. Fermented with native yeast in stainless steel tanks. I forget how long it actually spends in tank. Wow, it smells like Riesling. It has a beautiful, like, perfumed, like, relatively powerful aroma. It's not like aromatic. I don't want to call it aromatic because aromatic has these connotations of like tropical fruit and stuff like that, and like really pungent, like Gewürztraminer and stuff. And this is not that, but it's very pretty. Honey, pineapple, something like crisp and snappy. It almost smells like in the summer, like a really ripe, like snap pea. Like when you break it open or bite into it, it's a tiny bit, like it smells a tiny bit sweet, but it also has this like vegetal kind of smell. And people talk about like petrol and stuff like that and rubber with Riesling. This doesn't have that. But there is like there's a spiciness to it. What is almost actually like, it's like a hint of cardamom or something in there along with the fruit. Like an aromatic spice. That's cool. Neato. That's really good. This is excellent Riesling. Jeez. Oh, wow. It's, yeah, it's crisp, it's snappy, but it's also so relaxed. The finish is so relaxed. There's a tiny, like, I hesitate to say it, this is not a sweet wine. This is dry. But there is this little sweet component, hint, that comes in the very finish. And so the wine goes from, in the mid palate, like the wine is pretty tense and like angular, like there's this minerality in the mid palate, and then you get to the finish, and suddenly with the tiny like barest like whisper of sweetness, the finish is just like, oh, and relaxes, and it's just very like open, and that's really cool. That's a really cool transition. Flowery. It's like really fresh, pretty, like clementine orange kind of fruit. Gosh, this is so good and so fresh. Immich Batterieberg, CAI Riesling. This is low 20s, around 20, just a little bit over 20 a bottle. It's great. I only got 10 cases. I'm sorry. But it's good. Go find some. Or drink other dry Riesling. Just drink more dry Riesling. Please.